Hey y'all, Carolina Tony here. Thank you for stopping by my channel. If you're here for the first time, go down below and subscribe if you will. After that, click the bell so you'll be notified every time we put a video out. Today, the road brings us to Charleston, South Carolina. I'm going to do something kind of weird. We're going to explore some old cemeteries and look at some unique graves. A little different from what I normally do, but hey, during this lockdown, we're in a graveyard. Who can we make sick? Anyway, we'll get to that, but right after this station identification. We are on our way to Charleston to look at some interesting cemeteries. On the way, we are stopping off in Waterboro County in Kingstree, South Carolina. Look at something that's kind of strange. During the late 1800s, early 1900s, folks that lived in the South wanted to honor their Civil War soldiers, many that didn't return home, and by doing so they gathered money and had benefits to raise the funds to purchase monuments. And this monument at the top of this obelisk is pretty interesting in itself, because it is not a Confederate soldier. It is actually a Union soldier. The folks of Kingstree noticed this once it was up and erected, that hey, apparently we've got the wrong monument. Upon doing some further investigation, they found out that their monument went to York, Pennsylvania. So York, Pennsylvania has a Confederate soldier, and Kingstree, South Carolina has a Yankee soldier. How weird is that? Strange but true story. So let's head on down to the coast. Check out Charleston. Today the road brings us to Waterboro, South Carolina, and I am standing outside or next to the famous Waterboro Water Tower. Waterboro Water Tower was built around 1915 and is made of concrete. It's 133 feet high. And the tower itself is above those windows up top, holds 100,000 gallons of water. But one of the things that makes this thing so unique is at the base of it was once a jail. They say that once, many years ago, travelers that could not pay for a room was invited to stay here. There is a lock on the door, but inside there are 3 individual cells. See that cell right there? It still has a bed in it. Now, over there perhaps stairs to go up. I'm not sure. Looks like there's a desk inside of that one. This is Magnolia Cemetery in Charleston, and I just wanted to stop by to look at this that I had read about. is a very strange mausoleum. It's built like an Egyptian pyramid. Very different. Very different indeed. Here's the entrance. And I guess that's where they're entombed, on the sides. And here are a spot where sailors from the H.L. Hunley are buried. This section here is the first crew that was sunk, and they died on August the 29th, 1863. This is a replica of the H.L. Hunley submarine. This thing was built way before they had brought the original up from the bottom of the ocean. So there was a little speculation in how things worked or were connected. And these February the 17th, 1864. You might remember there was a movie that was made, and it talked about Lieutenant George Dixon. He had a coin that he carried in his pocket that a bullet hit that actually saved his life. True story. Here's the monument. I attended this funeral. When they buried them, they poured concrete over the top of their graves to keep out grave robbers. Here rests the third and final crew of the Confederate submarine H.L. Hunley, died February the 17th, 1864, after sinking the USS Housatonic, the first successful act of submarine warfare, buried here April the 17th, 2004. George Dixon, Arnold Becker, C. Lumpkin, Frank G. Collins, J.F. Carlson, Miller, James Wicks, and Joseph F. Ridgway. And this was the second Hunley that died October the 15th, 1863, while making a practice run in the Charleston Harbor. There are numerous mausoleums out here. I wanted to stop over and take a look at this one in particular. It's very different. And these are built right on the saltwater marsh. Very strange. You can see they're entombed in there. It's a very old cemetery. Lots of interesting tombs and gravestones. Here's one that apparently the door is missing and that it's a keep out. Well, we won't go in, but we'll look in. It looks like, oh boy, the remains are missing. You can see little shells where the bodies would have been. And there's water down in the bottom. This being on the saltwater marsh is subject to a lot of flooding. Here is another tomb that has not stood the test of time. Again, it's built right on the water and is empty as well. You see where they've put those bolts up to try to keep it from caving in. The bodies have been removed. Here is another very strange tomb or grave. A mixture of concrete and earth. We're approaching from the back. Very different. This one has glass behind the iron bars. And here is another one. These folks here have lakefront property. So I am going to assume that is a sarcophagus, that the individual in this grave is actually buried above the ground. It looks like William died in 1887. Governor of the state, member of Congress, Oracle trustees, the Peabody Fund. And here is another that caught my eye. An infant daughter that passed away, and the monument looks like a bassinet, and someone has left a little baby bear toy. And I wonder if that's a bust of what she actually looked like. We are in the Unitarian Church cemetery. This is said to be one of the most haunted cemeteries in Charleston, but is unique in its own right nonetheless because of how overgrown it is. We've all heard of perpetual care cemeteries. Well, apparently this is not one of them. It is highly overgrown, and probably the reason it is haunted, if it is, spirits do not like unkempt graveyards. Very creepy. In memory of the enslaved workers who made these bricks and helped build our church, 1774 to 1787. Okay, well, we're going to bring this video to a close. I hope you have enjoyed our tour. of the graveyards. If you like this video, be sure to give me a big old thumbs up. Be sure to tell your family and friends. But until next time, y'all have a good day.